At a tense moment for transatlantic trade, the European Union regulator announced a fine that could upend the relationship between the world's biggest search engine and its rivals. On Thursday, the EU's competition authorities, under the Digital Markets Act, imposed a penalty of €890 million, roughly $1 billion, on Google for allegedly using its dominance to unfairly boost its own services in areas like shopping. This decision follows the EU's broader pushback against the tech giant's perceived market control tactics, a move that easily stokes President Trump's threat of retaliatory tariffs against the EU and other major trading partners. The fine stems from a 5-year investigation that revealed a pattern: when users searched for shopping deals, travel bookings, games, or even language translation tools, Google's own products consistently front-loaded the results. Competing services were pushed further down, making them harder to find without extra effort. In addition, regulators uncovered that Google's Play App Store imposed limits on how app developers could communicate with users or conduct transactions that might reduce the fees Google could collect. Those restrictions, according to the EU, effectively squeezed out competition. The Digital Markets Act, unveiled in 2022, seeks to prevent the biggest online platforms from using their interconnected services to lock in users and stifle rivals. EU competition officials argue that companies like Google, now gatekeepers in search, smartphones, e-commerce, and social media, wield too much influence over who reaches consumers. In a statement, Teresa Ribera, the EU's executive vice president for competition policy, said, "The best products should succeed because they're better, not because they're owned by the company running the search engine." This is the promise of the DMA, protecting fairness, choice, and innovation in digital markets for the benefit of all European citizens. Google now faces a 60-day compliance window. Within the EU says, the company must increase the prominence of rival online services. Failure to do so may trigger further penalties, potentially as high as 5% of its worldwide revenue. This is flatten. It's another in a long line. Google has been fined more than €10 billion since 2017. Kent Walker, Google's general counsel, warned that Thursday's decision will require product design changes that will harm services for European users. "This isn't fair competition, it's product degradation," he said. "Regulation should improve products, not make them worse." The outcome resonates beyond the tech world's playing field. It signals a deepening mistrust between Washington and Brussels, and about how big data and algorithmic power will be regulated in the coming years. Meanwhile, vendors, app developers, and users across the EU are watching closely to see whether Google's response will transform the way its search engine presents alternatives. That's the latest on Google, the EU, and the fight over digital fairness. Thanks for listening, and if you found this episode helpful, headline your inbox with a subscription or leave us a comment. Stay tuned for more updates on the evolving landscape of tech regulation.